Welcome, scared, panicky, stupid human beings to Geek Salad's retro movie review from the Geek Salad Podcast. I'm Andy.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Joe.
And today we are here to continue our summer of blockbusters. To be the freshest summer release of 1997. The Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones blockbuster, Men in Black.
I didn't realize it came out that far away.
Oh, what, 97?
Yeah, I thought it was early 2000s.
No. This was at the height of Will Smith's. This was peak Will Smith.
Well, actually, the funny thing is that if you think about it, Will Smith became a box office draw, or at least essentially was slotted as a box office draw in 96, a year before with Independence Day.
Yeah, with Independence Day, yeah.
Yeah, and Men in Black was filmed 3-4 months, or they started production 3 or 4 months before Independence Day came out. So you think about this movie, which cost $90 million to make in 1997 dollars, really banking on his star power.
Yeah,
and this,
it actually did a lot with 90 million.
Oh, absolutely. This is one of these movies where every dollar is on the screen. And because this movie is a very tidy 98 minutes, you can do a lot more. And as we talk about this, we'll get into how well they accomplished that. But yet this movie pulled in over $580 million globally, and again, 1997 dollars. So you're right. This box, but then years later.
Oh, hold on, Andy. You're breaking up.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah. That's your star. You would kind of fall a little bit west.
Wow. Yeah, Andy, you are really breaking up something fierce.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, give me a second. Had some issues with our Wi-Fi recently.
Yeah, right now
so
we've got audio stream only, and even that's kind of wonky.
Is it still?
We can't even see you.
Jesus. All right, discuss myself off a video for a minute, and just turn off my work phone. I'll be right back.
Okay. So yeah, Men in Black. This. For 90 million, this looks really, really good.
Well, like Andy said, though, that 90 million is 1997 dollars. 90 million was a big risk, back in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
It's equivalent to, you think about it, it's probably about what, 130, 140 million nowadays, which is really kind of the going rate for any summer blockbuster, But I think its strength is that it really kind of came out of nowhere in terms of its success.
Yeah.
Especially for a sci-fi comedy. And, Will Smith, Independence Day was a huge hit for him and kind of launched his career. But he was still kind of seen as like,
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, he was still just even though he got a lot of praise for what was that movie he did with about Beverly Hills?
Where is that the one where he plays the homeless guy?
Yeah.
It was like $40.
I don't know. No, where he was like Beverly Hills family takes him in and stuff like that, and he kind of upends their life. But a lot of people praised him, but but he was still an unknown quantity. So for a studio to take a $90 million risk on him, for Men in Black, that was I'm sure they were glad that they made back that $500 million. But on its face, it's a good movie. It really was so entertaining. It really kind of came out of left field.
Well, I mean, they also, kind of hedged their bets from Will Smith. They brought in Tommy Lee Jones, who,
Yeah, and they did, but it worked out because it serves the story. It really kind of serves the story where you got the veteran kind of bringing in this new kid to kind of take over for him.
yeah, Tommy Lee Jones, he won the Oscar in 1994 for The Fugitive, didn't he?
Yes,
I believe so. Yes.
So they pulled in all the stops to make sure that this was a hit, and I mean, you can't overstate how amazing of a villain was Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh, he was perfect. He was awesome.
By the way, how am I coming in? Am I coming in better?
Yes, you're much more clear right now.
Yay. All right, great. Yeah. It was interesting because, again, to me at that point, he was still Sergeant, he was just Private Pyle.
Yes.
And he really impressed the hell out of me with the Edgar stuff, with just the weird body motions and the slurred talking. And
oh yeah, I mean, there's just the way he's like, he just made his whole body even contort. It was just amazing.
Yeah. Well, I heard
it was he did such a good job that you weren't sure what part of him was the prosthetics to make the his body look all baggy and out of shape.
Yeah.
Or what part was him, especially like when he's talking and stuff like that. It's like, wow, that's that's talent right there.
Yeah. He's a fun villain because up until the big reveal that he's just a giant bug.
A giant cockroach.
The giant cockroach, exactly. It's fun watching him move around, and the fact, the sugar water.
Yeah.
The second he enters the house again, give me sugar in water. It's such a fun role, and really I think cemented him as just being a great weird actor. I
think that this is the kind of movie where the people in it really kind of let themselves go and enjoy the parts that they're playing. Like Tony Shalhoub's character was just, it was awesome.
Jack Jeeves.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jack Jeeves. Yes,
and he was, he was still kind of a reasonable nobody at that point. He was doing Wings.
Yeah,
but that was about it. And
that's all I knew him from.
Right. He was pretty fun in this. A lot of the other supporting cast, Rip Torn.
Oh yeah,
fantastic. I mean, he was born to do Zed.
Yeah.
That's a great role for him. And it took me years to realize why. I always thought that why do they give him a name and everyone else is a letter designation until
you realize that Zed is Z
only
in European.
In the United States is it called Z.
Yeah.
Every place else it's Zed. American exceptionalism.
America, fuck yeah.
America.
What I think kind of makes this one stand out against like its sequels is that this one is the only one that seems to realize that the special effects are secondary to the characters. You have to like love and enjoy watching the characters, and then the special effects are just the icing on the cake. The second one, I can't speak for the third one or international because I haven't watched them. But the second one is like, oh, look at what we can do. That we can have this gigantic villain. It's like, I don't care about the villain. I don't really care about where these characters are going.
Well, the thing about the first one is that the special effects really do serve the story, and that's really all it is. Because a lot of the really kind of big set pieces in Men in Black don't really come into the end. Everything up to that point is sort of on the personal level and kind of sort of played for laughs. So all the special effects are like, oh, look at this, this alien living inside some guy's head type of thing,
Yeah. And that's the thing too, that a lot of the special effects they were using were essentially rubber puppets.
Right. A lot of practical effects, before CGI became kind of de rigueur.
Right. What was the name of the first alien that Kay encounters when he's busting the dangerous illegals?
Mikey.
So poignant.
Mikey.
Mikey. And for the most part, I think Mikey was a rod puppet. Except for stuff like Frank the Pug.
Yeah.
That was essentially pixelating a mouth on a dog.
Yeah.
The little creatures in the coffee room are rod puppets. The alien that Jay delivers is a puppet. You know, there are just so many different types of characters that are in there that are just, you're right, they're practical effects only until you're introduced to Edgar's true form. You actually then get CG. And it's honestly the worst looking special effect in the entire movie.
Right. Well, it was still a new technology and everything like that. It wouldn't be two for another 2 years until George Lucas just, we know what George Lucas did. So
yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, it's still 4 years after Jurassic Park.
Right.
So, and it definitely did have a little bit of that Spielberg touch to it. Spielberg was one of the executive producers on it.
Yeah, well, that was the other thing I wanted to touch on. It's very Spielbergian, I guess is what you want to say.
Right.
It very definitely has elements of that. That kind of Spielberg kind of storytelling technique and kind of world building. I guess you want to say. Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing too is that Barry Sonnenfeld has a very specific look to his movies, and it's interesting too because the credits font at the beginning of this movie is the exact same credits font that's in front of both Addams Family movies, which he directed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you go back and you look at that, it's that very, very skinny writing. Our title card, actually, I downloaded the font for our title card, and that's going to have the Men in Black font on it, the credits font. So it's like very, very skinny, almost chalk-like. Welcome back.
Hello. Thank you.
What'd you do to that dog, Mike?
No, he was barking at the cats, and I had to go yell at him.
The dog got awfully silent.
Yeah, exactly. Too silent. Mike always has a steak in his back pocket. He just throws it, and the dog just goes after it. And
nah, more like a water gun.
Clue.
More like a water gun can just squirt at him.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Joe and I were just talking about the just how good the practical effects in this movie were. That most of them were puppets.
Most of them were puppets,
and we were definitely a Spielberg.
No, nothing.
But it also had it had that Spielberg touch because he was the executive producer, and Barry Sonnenfeld's got that specific look. So let's talk about some of these actors, shall we? I want to actually start not with the leads, but the primary female lead, Linda Fiorentino. This movie was supposed to make her an enormous star, and it failed horribly at that. What
she just kind of fell off the face of the planet after this.
She did. The thing is, 2 years before, she had this wicked breakthrough with this movie called The Last Seduction. Originally, she was like an 80s girl. She was the female lead in the movie Vision Quest and Gotcha, both that were released in the same year. And then she kind of disappeared for a little bit. 10 years later, she comes back in The Last Seduction, which, had it not been aired originally on HBO, would have essentially netted her an Oscar nomination. She just kind of lost on the technicality with it. She's phenomenal in that movie. And then when I saw her get the role in this, I'm like, oh my God, finally, she's going to go on to bigger and better. And it really never happened for her.
Yeah, I mean, she was in Dogma. She played the lead in Dogma, actually.
Yeah, but Dogma came out after Men in Black.
Right,
it came out in 1999. And then she was in 3 movies in 2000, and then 2002, and then nothing till 2009, and then nothing.
Wow.
Her last role was in 2009, a direct-to-video release.
Oh, jeez. Oof. Yeah.
I totally forgot she was in Dogma. I haven't watched that movie in a while.
Wow.
But it's what a waste. She's such a fantastic actress, and what she's required to do in terms of the heavy lifting of having to be the civilian's point of view in this, and the fact she keeps getting flashed with the mind eraser.
Yeah, the mind eraser.
Yeah. Which I remember when this movie came out in theaters, and they had this big like commercial tie-in with Ray-Ban. And there actually was a cut scene that I think was supposed to be for a commercial and for nothing else, where Tommy Lee Jones is actually holding the stick. He puts the sunglasses on and says, "Why do you think they call them Ray-Bans?"
Well, I mean, this is, you know what though, it would fit in with the rest of the movies because there was some obvious commercialization in the movie.
Not as much as you'd think, though.
I don't know. It felt to me sometimes they were trying to really make it kind of obvious, but
well, yeah. I mean,
maybe I'm confusing it with the second one.
Oh, the second one was awful. I mean, this one was essentially this didn't have as crass of a marketing push on it because again, it's a $90 million movie that was going against summer-wise was going against a Batman movie and a Jurassic Park movie. Both of which are considered some of the worst entries in either of their franchises.
1997 wasn't kind to franchise movies, was it?
No, it wasn't. No, that's why this movie is so refreshing. Now, did you guys both see this in the movie theater?
Yep.
Yes.
I did.
Yeah, awesome. I love this. I really do love this movie. It's a
very enjoyable movie. I really, really like it.
Yeah. I actually was watching a little bit of it this morning at work, and it's just Will Smith was such a natural talent for this, before, turning down the Matrix caught up to him. And
well, I mean, this one is like 2 years after Batman Forever, where he pissed down his role of Harvey Dent.
Oh no, we're talking about Will Smith, not Tommy Lee Jones. We haven't gotten to him yet.
Okay.
Yeah. He's just he's so naturally likable in this. And there's even before he becomes an agent, the stuff with him in the interrogation room when they ask him about the cephalopod, and he just keeps referring to the other cop's weight, and the cop's like, "You were half the man I was. What are you talking about? I am half the man you are."
Yeah, Will Smith is just kind of like the Rock. He's just got a natural charisma. You watch him, even if the movie sucks, you like him.
Well, it's one of those things you want to like Will Smith no matter what.
Yeah.
Even though you know the movie might be dog crap, you want to like him and you want to pull for him.
Right. And the thing is with this is before we kind of got sick of the shtick.
Yeah.
This is his second big movie. The first movie was, Welcome to Earth. And then, this one.
Oh, you gotta remember, he's like 2 years removed from, I think, what, Fresh Prince ended in 95?
Yeah, I think so.
So he's still, in a lot of people's mind, he's still the Fresh Prince. He's still has that, typecast to him.
Yeah.
So he's playing, so up to this point, he's playing variations of that character, is what it is.
Yeah.
But he's making it work with his charisma. He can make it work.
Right. Exactly. He's so good in this. And then when you start watching it from his point of view, where he is now witnessing all the aliens and stuff, it's fantastic. Especially his reaction when he gets the noisy cricket.
Oh yeah.
Right, because he wants the big gun.
He wants the big gun.
He wants the biggest, baddest gun in the arsenal. No, he's going to get this little tiny, pea shoot. What he thinks is a pea shooter.
Right. I love that too. So of course, because we're all together here, there's a Sunco story coming up.
Of course.
When this movie came out, we had a ton of the toys and stuff. The action figures, by the way, sucked.
Yeah,
like the aliens all had like some weird action like feature, but they all were kind of stupid. Both K and J kind of look like the Jurassic Park Dennis Nedry figures that we discussed last week, Mike.
Yeah.
Overly buff and angry.
The thing is, the Dennis
Nedry
we
had the gun.
The Dennis Nedry action figure kind of looks like he should have been in Men in Black.
Exactly. But we had the guns. So we had a couple of the toy guns, and we had that big one that that Agent K got. You know, now that's what I'm talking about gun. And we also had the noisy cricket.
Mm-hmm.
It was just this little it was adorable.
I still they sold that noisy cricket just as like a little like standalone like, plate gun.
Yeah,
and it made some really cool fun noises too.
It did. It was great. It was great. But the fact that that gun actually still packs a punch,
a big punch,
is really cool.
Oh, it was like wasn't it like one of the most powerful weapons in the entire galaxy?
Exactly.
Which makes me wonder why Kay would give that to a rookie.
Well, I love that scene also where Jay is with the best of the best of the best.
Mm.
And it's such a litmus test for him because he's the only one who grabs the table noisily. And then the whole thing where he's like, I was going to shoot this guy, but he's just working out. That guy has just got a cold. But little Susie's got these quantum physics books. She's like 8, so these books are way ahead of her reading level. She's like, shit. Or do I owe Susie an apology?
That whole training sequence is a fantastic little montage bit.
I love
not
that.
Not montage, but
I love when he's like being taken around and they're showing him the weapons and the ball. It just keeps bouncing around the entire room. And was responsible for the 1977 New York blackout.
I love all the little in jokes, like when they pull up all the aliens.
Yeah,
they got like Michael Jackson, and you got
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, all like some ones that you would expect and some that you wouldn't. They just love to throw in all these little in jokes.
Yeah, which is interesting too because in Men in Black 2, they actually got Michael Jackson for like an extended cameo.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And Michael Jackson actually kind of begged them to give him top billing.
Oh, of course.
And it's like, no, you're in the movie for 2 minutes. If we give it to you, we have to give it to everybody else who's in the movie for 2 minutes.
Hey, he also wanted to be Jar Jar Binks. Okay, so
yeah, Jacko was not right in the head towards the end.
No.
Actually, he wasn't right in the head a bit before that.
Into his 30s.
Yeah, the guy could sing, but not.
Yeah. But that's this movie is just so much fun. And as we mentioned kind of at the top of the show, 98 minutes in 1997, summer blockbuster terms, is nothing.
No.
Think about how long Jurassic World was.
I don't remember.
It's well over 2 hours long. Batman and Robin, I think, is 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Well, I mean, just look at what we talked about last week. Jurassic Park, the first one, 127 minutes.
Yeah.
So a good half hour longer than this one.
That's kind of surprising because I feel most movies. Yeah, I mean most movies are about 90 minutes. It used to be the standard runtime for movies.
Yeah. I mean, some of the other movies released that summer. Con Air, which is well over 2 hours. Face Off.
Is it really?
Oh, it's a long one.
You know what? It did feel long when I was watching it.
Yeah. Con Air should not have been that long.
2 hours long. Where the heck are all the other movies here? So we got that. I'm pulling up like all the summer movies. Yeah. All right. So The Lost World was 2 hours and 9 minutes long. Con Air was only 1 hour 55 minutes.
Still
Batman and Robin is 2 hours and 5 minutes long.
2 hours.
Face Off is 2 hours and 18 minutes. So I got those flipped.
Wow.
Men in Black 38 minutes.
These are a lot of movies that should not have been that long.
Face Off
should not have been 2.5 hours long. Air Force One was 2 hours and 4 minutes long. Spawn was terrible.
And that's all you need to say about it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, 98 minutes, especially now, because we had our asses prepared for 3 hours of Endgame. And woe be to any of you stupid bastards that got up at any point to go use the bathroom. You knew better.
Yep.
So Still it drives me nuts. I found out one of my coworkers never saw the big reveal in Spider-Man Homecoming because he went to the bathroom.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's like, he gets back in right as soon as they're in the car. He's like, what's going on?
Oh, God.
Oh, you poor dumb
So
bastard.
you could have pushed me over with a feather after that scene.
You poor soul.
Yeah. But man, Tommy Lee Jones is so good in this movie. Let's get back to Men in Black because Tommy Lee Jones is a great straight man.
Tommy Lee Jones is a weird, interesting, wonderful, stupid actor because he's a torture to work with, but he gives you some of the best moments in movies.
Well, like Andy said, he's arguably the best straight man there is in movies.
The cool thing about Tommy Lee Jones, too, is that you know you're watching him, but unlike other actors that don't exactly disappear into their roles, like Tom Cruise, he can disappear into a role and you still know you're watching Tommy Lee Jones. Not so much with this. This was Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive, just in a black suit.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
see him like JFK.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
fantastic in JFK.
Captain America.
Well, let's be honest. He's also playing his fugitive role in Captain America.
Right. Well, exactly. That's the role that won him the Oscar. Of course, he's going to play it.
Right.
But the thing is, with Tommy Lee, you don't care that he's playing the same role because he's still fun to watch.
Right. And he was in Cobb, and he was awesome as Ty Cobb.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's so much fun to watch. And the beauty is too is that, especially at this time, I still think that prestige actors might have balked at doing a big summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
And he definitely this was a gamble for him that paid off really well.
Oh yeah, because like I said, he'd just come off of Batman Forever and Volcano.
Oh,
right.
Oh God, where a dude actually melts.
Neither movie really did him any favors.
No,
neither
so
one.
He did something.
Well, Batman Forever, we do forget. Batman Forever was a gigantic hit.
But nobody agrees that he was any good in it.
Right. No, I understand that. But it was still a big hit and retroactively became even worse after Batman and Robin.
Yeah, retroactively became reviled.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's just so amazing in this movie, and just the fact that the knowledge that this character just carries with him, and he's so just cool and calm about it. You never see him get upset. You never see him get he never loses his head ever.
Actually, he does get upset once, and it's a moment that always kind of stuck with me. After when they're chasing Edgar, and Will Smith and Jay fires the noisy cricket.
Yeah,
and he blows up that truck and all these guys, and Kay takes him to task like, you don't fire your weapons with people around, because the only reason that they're not panicking right now is because they don't know about it.
Yeah.
And we're here to keep that from happening. It was like, just, with the speech he gives to it, it's like, it's solid, it's earnest. I mean, he's talking about aliens, hiding among people, but he's giving it such a direct, so he's being so commanding with this knowledge.
Right.
You buy it.
Right. And you know too that he said these same lines to other people before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had other agents that have failed. I want to go back to the special effects real quick. And the one special effect that always has stood out to me, and that was the tiny little alien in the giant robot suit.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I think that special effect is just so amazing. How they managed to pull off what is essentially a very simple special effect. It's a puppet that's just shot in close up.
Yeah.
But it works so well. And I mean, I'm sure that there were some aspects of CGI they had to use to clean it up, but it just looked amazing.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say that the special effect that always stood out to me is just when Edgar pulls his face taut.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That one scene, I was like, that's prosthetics, I know, but he sells it.
Oh yeah, he does. He does. And I don't know much more we can say about this. I will say though, because I was having a conversation with somebody at work about this. What was like the scene that kind of, was there anything in this movie that wasn't great? And it was at the very, very, very end of the movie. And it's when Jay retires Kay, and he sees it in the National Enquirer that, he's been reunited with his lost love. But both him and Linda Fiorentino are wearing completely different tailored black and white suits.
Yeah.
And it threw me because they're supposed to kind of be anonymous. They're supposed to just be invisible to everybody. And those suits really stand out. The suits, the specialized glasses, the sunglasses were like designer sunglasses. And it's a nitpick. At best, it's a nitpick. But it's
right.
It never sat right with me.
Well, it's supposed to represent, Will Smith bringing this new attitude to the organization.
Yeah, all the stodgy old white dudes.
Right, but it in a sense though, it's kind of it's kind of dissonant to the whole idea of what Men in Black are supposed to be.
Right, and the interesting thing is they go right back to the old outfits in Men in Black.
Yeah, and there might be too. Yeah,
M2B.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, they also get rid of Linda Fiorentino.
Poor woman.
She was supposed to be in Men in Black 2, from what I hear.
Right. They actually had her set up as a very interesting choice for a love interest.
Mm.
I mean, they definitely had some chemistry on screen. I also love too the way he describes her as having like this weird like Queen of the Dead vibe. Because she's a coroner. But it is a shame that she couldn't continue on with that, especially because Men in Black 2, for all accounts, is just not great.
No.
It's serviceable. That was the summer of 2002, so there was a lot of like serviceable movies that came out that year.
There were worse movies, but there were a lot of much better movies.
Yeah, exactly. So overall,
it's funny. Men in Black, despite its less than glorious sequels, does not suffer from the Matrix syndrome.
No,
in that I can enjoy Men in Black in isolation,
right,
away from the sequels.
And I still want to see Men in Black International. It just, I don't get how. Well, I saw that the Rotten Tomatoes, like the actual scores, the critic scores, brought it up. It's no longer like rotten.
Right.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's weird because usually you don't see that upon the movie's release. But if I pull it up right now, I'm sure I will find something. If it loads up, because I shut my Wi-Fi off for everything else so I could do this. What the hell? Get out of there. But yeah, no, that's my what the? Yeah, skip. Never mind. I'll do it later.
I got it.
What's that? You got it?
Yeah.
All right.
It is at 22%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder what I was looking at then. That sucks.
Audience scores at 66%.
Okay. But, I mean, it's just that, like the second movie is just, they threw a lot of money at a problem. Because it took 5 years to make that one. And then Men in Black 3 is just dull. It's dull. It's uneventful. You didn't get a Will Smith song at the end of it. You got Pitbull.
Oh.
Who was also, because Pitbull doesn't write music, he steals other people's music and just kind of raps about Miami and on top of it. Love is Strange from Dirty Dancing.
But I mean, actually, speaking of that song, I do enjoy that song quite a lot.
It's a fun song. I was humming it when I was putting together the stuff for this show tonight. And it's a fun, it's a fun song. Big Willie Style's back,
This was actually one of the last vestiges of Big Willie too.
Yeah, pretty much.
After this,
getting jiggy with it. Oh yeah, Wild Wild West.
When did iRobot come out?
iRobot was, I think, 2000. I think that actually might have been 2002 or 2003. And yeah, and that was kind of the beginning of the end. That's what turning down the Matrix does to some people.
Well,
look at it this way: if he had taken the Matrix, maybe he would have been John Wick instead of Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, and Keanu Reeves would be doing After Earth and Gemini Man, where a young Will Smith fails to tell an old Will Smith, "Don't do After Earth."
Hey, but we're still getting Bill and Ted 3, so.
Still getting Bill and Ted 3, which would have also starred Will Smith if
No.
If he had taken the Matrix.
No, you are wrong, sir.
I'm just joking. So anyway, that is our discussion about Men in Black. You guys have anything else you want to say about it?
No.
It is a really fun movie.
It is. It's hard to come up with any kind of negatives about it.
Yeah. I mean, the negatives again are nitpicks. This is a fun summer popcorn movie. I think that the gore and violence, and have a preteen watch this one.
Yeah, I would say all of the gore and violence is all like alien gore, so it's like basically colored KY jelly.
We could have gone with colored goo, but okay, Mike.
I was trying to be scientific about it.
Oh, shut up. So that was Men in Black. So anyway, what do you think about Men in Black? Do you love it? You're not a fan of it? Have you never seen Men in Black? Please leave a comment. Please leave a comment below. Keep it civil, please. Don't forget to give this video a big like, big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Geek Salad here on YouTube, because we offer weekly movie reviews just like this one. All summer long, we're doing summer blockbusters. So I can't wait to see what we pick out of our hat next week. Spoiler alert, there is no hat. Mike, Joe, and I also host a podcast called Geek Salad, which is available at geeksalad.podbean.com. You can check out all of our episodes right at the Podbean app. You can also check us out on Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, and Google Music, as well as audio stream right here on YouTube for all that fun stuff. You can follow us at Twitter at Geek Salad Radio and Podcast. Guys, you have anything else?
Nope.
Awesome.
No, I'm good.
Go. All right. So until next time, I'm Andy.
I'm Mike.
I'm Joe.